Guys, deluded. YouTube's Lucas Torreira, YouTube's N'Golo Kante. Deluded is in the name. Some of you have t-shirts too, so you clearly believe in the thing. So yeah, man, let's crack on. The best YouTuber at this we already know. But like I just said, well, I didn't actually say, Arsenal's thingy transfer window is closed. Well, if you're an English club, at least when it comes to incomings, unless they're free agents, you can't make any more signings. We know last year clubs voted unanimously to close the window earlier than the European counterpart. So the window closed around 6 p.m. yesterday. Obviously, give or take, I do believe some deals might even still be running, because I do believe you just had to submit the deal sheet and then you can dot the I. Premier League will give you time to dot the I's and cross the T's. And yeah, we've seen, if you're us, probably Man United, definitely Spurs, City probably reaching, but maybe even City, you might not be entirely happy with what your club's done. If you're Liverpool, you're probably thinking, all right, cool, centre back, but other than that, it's happy days. If you support West Ham, Fulham, Wolves, yeah, we can't just look at names, but you've got Everton as well. You've got some good names there. But specific to Arsenal, obviously I'll review everyone's in another vid, but specific to Arsenal, we know for obvious reasons that if you've watched Arsenal, I don't need to get into the micro of it as to why we are where we currently are. Just know, in short, we needed a rebuild for several reasons. We need to bring players in, we need to move players on, we needed to tie contracts down, and we needed to cut loose those who we can't move forward with. So yeah, in regards to our window, if I had to give it a rating out of 10, I'm very, I don't know, man. A part of me wants to say a 6, a part of me wants to say a 4. It's definitely no higher and it's definitely no lower. On the basis of quality, minus Lucas Torreira and Gudezi, looks a good signing, but at this current moment in time, he's still unproven to a degree, as much as I love him. Quality wise, I'm not too sure. I say we've addressed areas. Sure, we've addressed areas that we need. In particular, specifically the core of the squad, the centre half. Whether we believe in these players or not, keeper, obviously midfielder, which I definitely believe in Lucas Torreira. So yeah, we've brought in some good signings. Obviously, Liechtenstein could be a better signing than myself specifically thought. So yeah, man, it was decent. Like I said, in regards to adding quality, I don't really necessarily feel Torreira we've added quality into the side. But at the end of the day, I just want consistency and commitment and competency. If these players can provide me that, then it doesn't matter how good or how rubbish they are, because they're doing their job. So yeah, yeah. So on that basis, Leno, we don't know what we're gonna get with Leno. He has looked sharp. I mean, it's made Czech think and wake up, but it still remains to be seen as to how good he is until he actually kicks the ball for us. Torreira, I've got no worries about him. But for me, because of the underwhelming signings quality wise, a big shout in regards to our season is going to be how well coached these boys are and how much they buy into the tactics, because we didn't necessarily add quality apart from Torreira. In fact, we did not add quality. I'm not getting at Socrates, and again, he didn't pick to sign for us in the sense that he didn't pick his own transfer fee and own target, so I'm not going to get him. But is he quality? When we was looking back in the season and saying we need a centre half, arguably two, probably not the centre half he was looking at. And if we're honest, who out of all these centre halves, who actually is overwhelmingly the best? You can go and find it to a degree at City. You can find it at all other top clubs. We can't really find an overwhelmingly best centre half. You can say you could say on some basis it's Koscielny, it's Mustafi, it's Chambers, it's this guy, it's that guy, it's that and the other. At this moment in time, for all their good plus points or whatever, nobody's overwhelmingly first choice. Maybe that goes in a good way for us, because everyone has to prove themselves, or maybe it goes in a bad way, because I believe, if I'm a manager or even a football fan, I believe in, obviously the attackers. You need good attackers. I believe in Aubameyang and Lacazette, but the defense wins you games. I mean, wins you titles. Them strikers make the difference, but defense. And I wouldn't. I love the likes of Bellerin and these man there, you know this. But if you're honestly asking me collectively, whatever back five you put out, including the keeper at Arsenal, does it convince me? At this moment in time, without talking about adaptation and Unai Emery's tactics and them things, I'll be lying to you if I said it did, because it doesn't. Because you don't know who gets into it. None of them really fill you with any confidence. So defensively, alright, cool. We'll see how it goes with Socrates and Liechtenstein and the experience route and all of them things. But it remains to be seen. Midfield, not got too many complaints. We knew we needed to get some people off the books. I mean, we freed wages with Perez and Wilshere. Perez is nothing to write home about, but I do think, considering how weak our bench is, considering the austerity measures, if he was given a chance at this club, he might have chipped in with something to say, little rotation or on the bench thing, stuff like that on the flanks. We're a bit weak. I think we've left ourselves a bit weak at centre half, and we've definitely left ourselves weak at left back. And if we're pushing it on the flanks, it's good for Nelson and Nketiah, because they should be relishing the opportunities they're going to get this season in Europa League, in the Premier League, and all the other cups, because there's a lot of games to be played. But I'm very wary about the expectation placed on these young guys. They're still trying to add consistency into their game, so we don't know what to expect. I believe in both of them. Eddie is clearly a striker, but he can get games on the flanks. We don't know what we're going to get from game to game, and we can't necessarily say we can rely on them to make the difference or going into a big game saying they're going to stand up to be counted, because they will, but they're young boys, and I don't really feel it's fair to put that pressure on them, to be fair. So before I got tongue twisted, in fact not even tongue twisted, before I started waffling on another route, midfield, obviously Lucas Torreira's come in, that's a good signing for me. Maitland-Niles is a midfielder, of course. Xhaka's come in and signed a new deal. There's still Ramsey, where there's question marks over his future. I do believe he shouldn't be at this club. He hasn't signed a new... I love the guy, I want him to stay, but he has not signed a new deal. He should not be at this club. And now we're at his mercy, because he can still be bought from a foreign club if they want him. January can do what he wants in terms of that, and it's another season. God strike me down, man. I want to be wrong. I want to wake up tomorrow and a deal signed, purely because I don't want this contract nonsense in regards to Arsenal again. But it's going to ramble on, so I don't want to give that any more thought. So between probably not adding quality, not addressing Aaron Ramsey's future, not the best of windows, probably not bringing in a winger. Obviously, we didn't get many players off the books when you look at it. Yeah, Wilshere's gone with freed wages. Perez is gone, wages have been freed, hasn't really been reinvested. Jeffrey Adelaide sadly has been sold. Akpom's been sold. Give or take, there's a couple others and things like that I'm probably forgetting about. But in regards to the likes of Ospina, you can still move to a foreign club, so it's not necessarily done. But Ospina's still on the books. Welbeck is still on the books, not on the basis that I'm necessarily saying we need to force Welbeck out, because we haven't really got any much options on the flanks, and I do believe he's could be a decent rotational squad option. But on the basis that he's meant to go, his future's not been sorted. Carl Jenkinson and Joel Campbell, specifically Jenkinson stealing a living here. I mean, I can't even say stealing a living. It's commendable how able he is to survive at Arsenal, being an Arsenal fan and having this future here. So he's, again, the loan market, I believe, is still open, but we wanted him gone. Like, I really don't understand how he couldn't be gone. Offer the man for free, if anything. Whoever asked him to sign a new deal needs to hand in their P45. So yeah. Obviously, in regards to midfield, just off topic, you're probably thinking El Nene is probably going to struggle for games. There's a lot of games to be played. He could probably secure a place on the bench, get minutes like that. Europa League early stages and all these things, he'll probably get minutes as well. But I don't really... If I had to give our window a rating, like I said, I'm stuck between a 4.5, a 5 and a 6. Initially, I would have gave it a 6 because we started off well. But when I think about offloading players... specifically offloading players, it does fill me with a bit of apprehension to give us that rating. So I'd probably say I'll give our rating a 5, 4.5/5 out of 10. 4.5 is probably being a bit too cynical. 5 because we just on the basis we've addressed areas, but there's a lot of outgoings that haven't been done. I mean, you saw rumours that we bidded for Dembele. This club really needs to stop bidding fees that they'd have no intention of paying, or will shuffle or will turn off their phone if the bid suddenly got accepted. Allegedly, we asked for Sidibe of Monaco. Obviously, Vida didn't happen. No disrespect to Vida, but I'm absolutely buzzing that doesn't happen. But how can I really be buzzing? Because at the end of the day, I think we're well stocked in midfield, but I do believe we're quite weak at centre-half. Bielik and them young centre-halves there's possibly an opportunity to step into the first team at some capacity. But forgive me if I'm wrong, people. What I've got written down are current options. Koscielny has to be classed as an option. He's still here at least until the new year. I mean, he's not available until the new year at least. So I'll put an asterisk near his name. So that's Koscielny. Socrates is obviously coming to the club. Holding's there and Mustafi. So that's 4 centre-halves. If we play 4 at the back, 3 at the back, obviously there's only one space on the bench for a centre-half. If we play 2, it's cool. So loaning out Chambers without a centre-half coming in, it's left us light. Obviously, I believe I've been very vocal on the need for a left-back. We're very light at full-back as well. Yeah, we brought in Liechtenstein and Bellerin, and them man there can fight. Maitland-Niles having to fill in there and do a job for the team because Cole is out injured. Monreal's getting on a bit, and we don't know if he's going to start against City. Hopefully he does, as much as I love Maitland-Niles. So yeah, man, we're a bit weak in several areas. On the flanks, we haven't really got any quality. Our probably only true winger is clearly Reece Nelson. If we're honest, Mkhitaryan can do a job out there. You can force Ozu out there in the game. You can play Eddie out there as well. But the 3 names I just said are forced. It's probably only a Nelson, probably Mickey thing. So to not have a winger, I know Uno likes to use more compact-based formations and stuff like that, and have his midfield men making them sort of runs and providing width like that. But I do think we missed a trick to buy a winger, because it's been there for many years now. We need someone that just wants to hug the touchline and get chalk on his boots and spread teams, to be fair with you. And to be honest, if we're not going to bring a winger, this is another reason I'm going to be on Unai Emery about the fullbacks, because the fullbacks need to provide the width in the team. City's fullbacks. Spurs, when they had Rose and Walker, because Spurs the best example, How narrow was that team? The year they went undefeated at home, how narrow was that team? It was Walker and Rose. If you're going to do a thing like that, cool, we don't need wingers per se. I would still believe we do. But you get where I'm going in that regards, people. So, yeah. Well, it was some good additions and it started off well, failing to offload some players, and ultimately I think we're a bit weak at centre-half, full-back areas as well. It's left us with a lot to consider, and to be honest, I'm not going to blame Unai Emery for everything, and I want him to do well, but in regards to the weak areas, in regards to full-back and defence, I'm going to be on to him, because he sanctioned the long spell of Chambers without bringing someone in. Like, these are the things that are falling on the manager. The one bright spark is obviously Torreira's a good signing, but other than that, 4.55 out of 10, like I said, man. I was going to give it a 6, but failure to ultimately get a lot of these players off the books like Joel Campbell and Jenkinson, I can't really give you a 6. A 6 would have been if that happened. So, yeah, Arsenal, man, he did what he needed to do. Shout to Good Daisy as well, man. Guys, Deluded, get in the comments, subscribe, do the rest. Follow me on my socials. It's all in the description. Deluded, it's on the T. Out.